Hello, everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
We're back from New York Comic Con. If you are not familiar, we went to New York Comic Con, a week ago? Last week? Was it 2 weeks? I don't remember.
No, it was last week.
Last week, we went to New York Comic Con.
It was not this past weekend. It was the weekend before that.
Exactly. And we had a grand old time. Hopefully, if we did see you there, thank you for coming and seeing us at the Absolute Comics panel.
Yeah.
That's another channel and another podcast that I do over with Comics. We
there.
were all there at one
Except
point
for
or another. Ethan
yeah.
was there at least Thursday.
Yes, he
and
was.
I don't know if he ran into anybody, but we all ran into somebody. And so we want to thank you all for checking us out. And hey, if you are in the con-going spirit, you should see Tiffany and me at Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Yes.
We're going to be going there.
We are.
Yeah. We have no table. We have no panel.
It's just us
we have
going.
no business
we're
being
just,
there.
We're just literally just going because we like that con.
We do like that con. We like the people who are going.
That con is just one of our little joys. And like I feel like for a lot of folk who are like just comic book folk, right? Like you just want to be around comic book culture and you want to meet artists and writers and look for comics and other such things. Baltimore's a great show to go to.
Agreed.
It's not tiny, but it is smaller than New York Comic Con.
Yes, much more manageable.
And I feel like the creators, it's just a different vibe.
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe.
Definitely a different vibe. And I feel like you get more of a chance to talk with them.
I think so. At the very least, they're going to be less stressed than they usually are at some kind of show like New York Comic Con.
Sure.
It's a great show, though. And I will say a couple things about New York Comic Con before we jump into
Let's do that.
I should mention, Marvel and DC had no tables, no booths, no presence at New York Comic Con. And I will go on record in saying that we didn't miss them.
I mean, I think a little bit was missed there. There was okay, so it's like there's two sides to this for me. There's the one side where it's like you miss the grandness of their booths.
Yeah,
they always come with like something big. There's a lot of like cheering going on because they have like mini stages set up, that kind of thing. Like, so that was missed. However, it did give a great opportunity to a lot of smaller vendors, artists, creators, publishers to have an opportunity on the main floor.
Yeah, I would argue.
And also kept traffic moving.
That's the thing, is that DC has done a nice job of just being present at New York Comic Con, where they have like a little area all the way in the corner, and they get all their little costumes from the Warner Brothers warehouses, and they put them up on display, and maybe they'll have a table, and somebody will be there to talk to you about whatever's coming out from DC that month. But Marvel's the one who take up all this main floor real estate, and I don't miss them. I think it's actually great they were there. They don't really do anything exclusive. They have a couple of creator signings, but if you want to sit in line for 6 hours, you might be able to actually get one over at that booth. So instead of that being there, you're right. It wasn't that there was an equally large booth taking up space. It was actually just like allowing everyone else to be able to breathe, so you can walk around that floor and you can hit all the same vendors that are there every year.
Yep.
But actually reach them and talk to them and interact with them, which was really nice.
Very much so.
I just think New York Comic Con needs to promote their panels better. That's one thing that I would suggest they do. But outside of that, I think I think that the show is hopefully indicative of the future. I think they did a really nice job overall of keeping it, comfortable, of making everybody feel like they are being taken care of, or at the very least, like things are going the way they should. And so I think that it overall was a good experience. I had a great time. I'm glad we got to go ourselves.
Yes.
And we had a nice time. I will say we also, one of us, and that's me, got to go to some an industry party.
You did.
I did.
You're fancy.
I was fancy. I didn't dress fancy, but I was fancy, and I was there. And I won't talk about it too much because I don't want to tell tales out of school, but I will say it was a really cool experience. But I will say that party was brought to them thanks to Comixology, and so are we right now. Our friends over at Comixology want us to let you know that you need to get ready to celebrate Scottober this October with 3 brand new titles from acclaimed comic book creator Scott Snyder and Comixology Originals, featuring art from superstar artists like Greg Capullo, Francesco Francavilla, and Francis Manapul. These titles will be released throughout the month of October and will be available via Comixology Unlimited. Try Comixology Unlimited today with a free 30-day trial and get unlimited access to over 40,000 comics, graphic novels, manga, and more. Go to Comixology.com/unlimited now to begin your adventure. I will say say also that I have had a chance to read all of the Scott-tober samplings, and I can say that this week, I believe they're dropping the Francavilla one.
Is it clear?
No, that was the Manipul one, which I also read, and yeah, it was We Have Demons, it was clear, and it was
Manipul was clear.
Yeah.
And
then there's the next one.
And then there's the next one. No, that one's not out yet.
Okay, then it's just clear right now.
Yeah.
And We Have Demons, which by the way,
the next one isn't dropped yet.
No, clear is great. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's a fun noir detective type story, and the premise is neat, and I dig it. And if you want to support Comixology, you can do you could do worse, but I would suggest you should try out Comixology Unlimited, which you can find a link to in the description below this video, and just go to comixology.com/unlimited to check it out. See if it's right for you. But yeah, so big thanks to Comixology.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that, let's jump into it. DC FanDome was on Saturday, and a lot of things came out of it, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But before we do, let's talk about some comic books, huh? We get it. I've been missing them.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, also, this show is brought to you also by viewers like you. If you're watching the show live, you can help us out by reading or using the super chats, and we'll read a comment from those super chats here on the show and answer your questions and whatnot. So please feel free to jump in during this live broadcast of Off the Rack.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't reload or it'll screw everything up.
Oh, I can. I got them.
So you've got them.
I've got the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are we reading them now or no?
Nah, we can read them later.
Okay. You want to talk about some comics?
Let's talk about some comics.
This came out actually like 3 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago. I don't know, but I just want to say the Me You Love in the Dark issue 3. It's great. It's saucy and it's great, and I like it a lot. And I am really looking forward to where this is going to go wrong, because something is going to go wrong, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yay. Nice. Yeah, you've been loving this series since before it even aired.
Really have just so much fun. So much fun.
Totally.
So loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
I also read something. I read Justice League Last Ride from Chip Zdarsky and Mendoza. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. This has been a out of continuity mini series where it says, what if Martian Manhunter died and it split up the Justice League? And basically the answer to that question is they would reform and they would have to fight some semblance of Darkseid. And it's pretty fun. Like it's a fun little mini series. I thought it was 6 issues. I think it probably was 6 issues, but Zdarsky does that Zdarsky thing where he just asks for another issue, like 1 or 2 issues before the end of the series, and then he gets it. So here's that again. So if you thought like, oh man, this book's over, it ain't.
Oh, okay.
But it's fun. I really enjoyed this book.
Wow. So that cover, I like the art better inside than that cover.
Yeah, the covers have been not great. They look like a Garth Ennis book, and kind
of.
So I'm not a fan.
I get that.
Yeah, no, the covers have been like decidedly undynamic. They're just kind of like there. And I imagine that this series probably was skipped by a lot of people just because it, it just says Justice League Last Ride. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is this? And I was talking with Benny, the comic historian, earlier today, and he mentioned a thought that I really would like to see. And DC is apparently no stranger to doing these kinds of things. But like you'll see that in the top left-hand corner of most DC comics, they have their logo and they have this kind of like graphic incorporating the family of books they have.
Yeah.
There needs to be a thing that says whether this is in continuity or not. Like they need a like Elseworlds logo or something to say definitively like this is like, even if it's just Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 735.
No, I agree with that. And I think they don't want to do that because to a new reader, that's really intimidating, even if it would be possibly helpful.
Yeah.
Because if you picked up a newer printed book that had something like that on there, and you're like, I liked this universe, I want to find more books that fall into that. It's just funny because they seem to be removing Elseworlds from certain things.
Well, Elseworlds hasn't been used by DC in probably 25 years.
Oh, really? Has it really been that long?
It's been a long time. They have not.
Because we just covered a book that came out in like 2000.
Yes.
And we had a current reprint of it, and it's gone from
yeah.
there.
No, they don't use Elseworlds anymore.
I mean, it's not hard to figure it out.
No, but you need that branding, especially if you have strong branding like DC does, despite their self-loathing. So Just Like Last Ride, it's fun. It's the art's fine. It's pretty cool. I like it well enough. It's not like it's gonna break any new ground, but it is a fun Just League story that's cemented in a moment where it's the Just League I know. Like, look at them doing Justice League-y things without it being confusing or weird, or having them go like, like we said that 5G was over and then we turned into future state and it was going to be the stopgap. Well, actually, it's like literally like we're gonna do it. We're going to show you everything that's going to happen. Then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back to it like a year and a half later.
That's what's so baffling about this.
Yeah, baffling is a great word to describe the managerial styles of DC Comics. But Just Like Last Ride is fun and has nothing to do with any friggin' future states.
Okay.
Although it does take place in the future.
That's fair.
Batman 89, I read issue 3 of 6. Forgivably, there's only 6 issues of this series.
Yeah. Okay. So you keep reading this book, but you don't seem like you're loving it.
It's not great. It's not. It's not at all.
You can't help yourself.
No, but I can't. Well, I mean, like, look at that cover. It's fantastic. I love this. I love this cover. It's fun.
But you can't judge a book by its cover.
You can't, and especially this book is very indicative of that. Basically, it introduces the idea, we've seen Two-Face. What, he's got split personality, or well, that's usually it. What if instead of it being that it's split personalities, Harvey Dent wakes up
we trust him?
Can we trust him? No, you can't. But he wakes up from what should be his scarring, and instead he saved the day and everything's awesome. And then he really wakes up and he actually became Two-Face and life sucks. And there's a personality inside of him that comes from the multiverse.
What?
And Two-Face, this Two-Face is like, hey, I'm Harvey Dent from the reality that should have happened instead of the one that you're in now. And every decision you make creates a new universe. So we're going to create universes by making decisions.
Is he scarred?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, the one that talks to him?
Yeah.
No, that's Harvey Dent. It's in his mind.
Right. Like in is it Earth 1? No.
Oh yeah, was that with his sister?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the multiple personalities?
Yeah. So in this, it's just like there's a multiverse.
Well, at least it's not the Batman Who Laughs.
No. But it's not like he comes from the comic book universe. He's just like, yeah, we should. This is how things are. And
well,
I
guess because they want to tie it into something that we're going to talk about later.
I think so. I think
that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's handled as well as you can expect.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I also read Amazing Spider-Man 76 from Zeb Wells and Patrick Gleason. The art's fantastic. The story is fine. Basically, Ben Reilly.
Oh, this is that we're getting into that Beyond thing.
Yes, the Beyond, the 19-chapter Beyond series, where Ben Reilly's taken over Spider-Man for a little while. Spider-Man gets radiation poisoning from the UFOs, which would be impossible because there's a story where he fights Ezekiel and he injects himself directly with radiation, so he shouldn't be affected by radiation, but whatever, let's ignore that for a little while. And instead, Ben Reilly is being supported by this not evil, they're totally cool and on the level Beyond Corporation. They clearly set it up so that they would take Spider-Man off the table. Ben goes to Peter while he's like dying and he says like, hey, can I have your blessing? Because I really want to be Spider-Man. And Peter's like, sure. And then Ben is Spider-Man and like Peter gets hurt. Like he's dying or something.
It's a really good cover.
It's a really good cover. And,
I like that cover.
And it's a fine story. It's certainly better than most of the Nick Spencer issues.
Okay. Step in the right direction.
So it's a step in the right direction. And my only issue is like is that they better not when he wakes up, his powers better to still be there. So I'm really worried they're going to go back to like the 90s and be like, okay, so remember that period when like Peter Parker was the clone and Ben was the real one, and then we made Peter lose his powers, and then he and Mary Jane went to Portland and they like he got a desk job and like got a happily ever after, which nobody fucking wanted. Well, here it is again.
Maybe he's gonna go into a spider god healing cocoon.
He's done that at least twice. So let's see what happens. But I'm down for the ride.
Okay,
this is fine.
Okay.
I also think it's weird that they use that they're using Miles's Spider-Man font for the title.
Just trying something different.
Yeah. What else we got?
Well,
you want to jump into some super chats?
I'm wondering.
Please do. Yeah.
All right. Can you? I guess you can't click on this.
I can't do
okay.
anything.
Dan V900 says, hopefully New York Comic Con was a great time, and you were both doing well. I know it came out 2 weeks ago, but Justice League Infinity #4 was great. It's one of my favorite books, and I hope you get more than 7 issues.
Well, if it sells, you will.
There you go. He also came back to say that Strange Adventures #12, what a gut punch. We will talk about that.
We will talk about Strange Adventures.
Brian Rollins coming in saying the return of the rack. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, there you have it. You just got him.
We just nailed it. Aaron Jefferson, thank you very much for your super chat. Kevon the original saying Last Ronin or the rest of Deceased on back issues?
Yes. All those things are happening.
Okay. V or Vi Tran, back issues is great. Love the show.
Love you too. Thank you very much.
Nerd King 101 saying, hope you guys enjoyed New York Comic Con. Hopefully my high risk ass can be there next year and meet you guys and see the show. Let's get the best channel in comic book YouTube to 100K already.
You're very kind.
Well, thank you so much. But good on you for,
taking it easy
and knowing there's going to be more cons.
There's no rush.
There's going to be more cons.
There will be more cons.
And so hopefully everything will be back to a safe normal next year, and we can see you there as well. That'd be great.
True. I should say that dovetailing off of that, ComicPop is at 98,000. That's ComicPop, the mother channel that you can see behind us. 98,000 subscribers. We're little less than 2,000 subscribers away from 100K. So thank you all for who have been subscribed for so long, or who are just new to the channel and have decided to subscribe. We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And here on ComicPop Returns, we're at 13.5, which is not bad at all. Not too shabby. In almost 6 months, got 13,000 subscribers. I'm thinking we could get up to 20 at some point.
I'm focused. I think we should. I'm happy with the community we've grown here.
Me too.
And this I'm really excited about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Williams, thank you for your super chat saying first time catching a show live as it's early morning here. Well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
We'll try to keep it down. Hope everyone enjoyed what was announced to talk about Fandome. We haven't had a chance to talk about that, but we will by the end of the show.
Yep.
And Goku, hi. We saw Saiyan Vegeta.
We did. He's huge.
He was huge.
Yeah.
Glad I was able to catch this live. I was just in a bar car accident. My car got flipped over, so stuck in bed, recovering, but catching you guys live. Cheers up my day. Any comics you might recommend? Well, glad that you're safe.
Yes.
And healing.
My God.
My goodness.
Right?
My goodness.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Recuperate. Take that time. You deserve it.
For real. Any comics you might recommend?
Just in general?
Maybe
from now?
I don't know. Give a couple of both.
Okay.
Give a couple of tried and true, and then give a
okay. Let's see. Life Story is great. Spider-Man Life Story. It's a great series and it's out of continuity. You should pick it up. Strange Adventures. You should read that. It's done. 12 issues.
Yeah.
Done in 12.
And if that's not enough for you, you pick up the current Supergirl run.
Yep.
I'd say jump on the Sandman bandwagon.
Yeah, the Sandwagon.
The Sandwagon, because it's coming to town eventually.
Yeah, and hey, now that Why the Last Man is canceled, you could go check out Why the Last Man without being spoiled or ruined on anything.
For sure. My understanding is they very much changed it anyway for the show.
Exactly. So it's like, what the hell? By the way, that show's been in development for 20 years.
Just to get canceled.
Just to get canceled before they even finished the first season.
I'd say that along the Strange line, Strange Academy, great show. Or great show. It actually would be a great show.
It would be a great show. Great idea.
Oh no, great comic.
Yes.
Pick and choose your titles from X-Men. They're solid.
Yep.
They're having a good time with it.
The Matt Fraction Hawkeye book. You should read at least the Aja issues.
Yeah, for sure. Go check out some of the old Legends of the Dark Knights. You're gonna find a lot of great stories in there, some good, some bad, but a lot of fun creators just dipping their toes in the pool of writing some Batman.
Oh yeah.
And 1602.
Yep.
Why not?
Marvel 1602.
I'm sure you've read most of these because we've already mentioned them so many times.
Probably.
Should I throw out one more?
Why not?
Comics with Liz saying, "Hey guys, have you read Batman versus Bigby?" No, I didn't grab that. I might pick that up and trade at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm trade waiting on it, but I am.
That's fair.
That's it. That's what I got.
It will be fine.
That's true. Survive. No, it's true. Hey, I also want to, because it was related to a book you just talked about, KK, thank you for your super chat saying Justice League Last Ride sounds like it could have had a parody Fast and Furious scene meme reference. Haha. Love you all.
It was, thank you very much. It was really weird that they didn't. Yeah.
It's all about family.
At the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
At the end of the day, that's That is.
Yeah. It's like Star Wars. It's all about family.
It's all about family. All right. Let me. We're kind of trying to do like a little bit more of a round robin for this since we want to talk about fandom, but we also wanted to talk about comics. X-Force. I read it.
Yeah. How was X-Force?
It's good.
All right. I've heard good things about this issue.
This issue was solid. This is Ben Percy and Martin Coccolo.
Okay.
It's a Colossus focused issue with some beasts going on there.
Yes.
Character by the name of the Chronicler, who has that name's been used in Marvel before, but it's not the same person.
No.
Good issue. Just a very good, sad issue. And so funny because literally a loophole here to like, at least for what Beast has been doing to explain it away, they didn't take it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Dark Beast?
Lols. Not Dark Beast, but like how he's been particularly acting since Krakoa.
Right.
Kind of a way that they could get around it. But makes more sense with what they're doing. And like Colossus is going to become a tragic character.
Cool. Okay.
Looking forward to it in a terrible way.
Yes.
I picked up Eternals Forever.
Yes. Which, by the way, you need to do on back issues in the next week or two.
Oh. Crap. I picked up Eternals Forever. It was fine.
Fine.
Written by Ralph Macchio.
That'll do it.
With art by Ramon F. Box.
Yeah. We know Box. Not personally, but
art's fine. Story. Listen, guys, if you dig the writing style, and I'm not saying this derogatorily.
No, Ralph Macchio is an old Marvel editor.
And if you dig an older style to the way your comics are written, you might enjoy this book. I've just been on the Kieran Gillen train.
It's weird they would change it up this bad because Eternals, what was it, Thanos Rising or Thanos blah blah?
Yeah. But like I really wasn't paying attention, just grabbed it in Comixology and then opened it up and I was like, oh, different writer. There's no way I would have mistaken it because honestly, there was literally a point though where I thought they were doing something with it.
Like it was trying to feel like
yes,
like
and I thought it was going to be revealed. It's like there was something else going on.
That would be really cool,
and that's not what it is.
Just that. No, not
this
the Karate Kid, by the way.
No, not that Karate Kid at all. This issue was just fine. It's not my style of writing that I necessarily gravitate towards. Sometimes I dig it, sometimes I don't. Depends, I guess, on the character and the story or whatever.
I mean, if you think the comic book industry is dying, maybe you won't want to read it because it's just like a book from 30 years ago.
But it just, this wasn't for me, and I didn't really get much out of it. But it does a pretty interesting job of like kind of like again reinforcing a bit more about the Eternals and the Deviants in a way. You know what I mean? Like they're just really, I feel like they're trying to make sure folk are
aware.
Yeah. So fine.
I mean, good. I like that. In that same vein, I know they're relaunching the She-Hulk comic, and they're bringing Jen back to basics, and it's like because there's a She-Hulk show coming out.
Right.
Sometimes that synergy gives us back books we want to read.
Right.
And other times it brings us like the Eternals. You know,
Which I hate to say that because I've really been
enjoying
it.
They needed some kind of push.
I want to also say I went back. I had to read it. Wonder Woman Returns. Wonder Woman 780.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good.
That's good.
It was good. Like, listen, we all know that like I was really on this series when they first launched it, and she was going through Valhalla, and I really enjoyed that. And then I kind of fell off when it was like I got to fight some big whatever thing.
I know.
This is Diana's Homecoming.
Yes.
And initially, it was written in such a way and was so weirdly handled that I was like, oh my gosh, she's not really back. But then like other characters started acting a little more normally, but like Clark and Bruce's reaction to her being back is just like, cool, you're back.
Oh,
really weird. But then like when she finally like runs into some other characters and then her mom shows it all starts to fall into place. And it was just, I don't mean this in a bad way. It's a little hokey.
Sure.
And it's okay that it is.
Right.
And it's okay that it is. They're setting up whatever's next, but there's like some really like stunning images of Diana doing things around the world, like saving people, very heroic looking images of her doing things.
I think I've seen that page. Yeah.
So it was fun. It's fun, and it's just being like, hey, she's back, everybody.
Yep.
That doesn't mean everything's going back to where it was.
No. No, there's a Wonder Girl, there's a Nubia.
Yeah, and we do. Everybody like knows that she's back and such. Where is that book, by the way?
Wonder Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that we're on issue 3.
But I enjoyed it. had a good time with it.
Nice. Good.
I also want to say that I read Shang Chi.
What was he versus this time?
Iron Man.
Okay, I think I remember that.
This is number 5, written by Jean Luen Yang.
Yeah.
With art by Daiki Ruan or DK Ruan.
Okay.
I've enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed this issue because it's starting to coalesce as to what they're doing with this.
Oh, good.
So like clearly he's got his own story. Had just found his mom in the last issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like someone comes to him to sell him a weapon, and it's an Iron Man suit, and like he's like, I'm not gonna buy it, and not only am I not gonna buy it, but I'm gonna
call Iron Man.
I'm also going to keep you here so we can get Iron Man back his stuff, but I gotta make sure it doesn't look like we were actually gonna buy this because people already think that the organization I'm working with is bad, and I need to try to change those optics.
Cool.
Obviously that all goes to hell.
Naturally.
The Iron Man suit like starts like breaking into like various computers there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, it is revealed that there is a coalition of bad guys and a coalition of heroes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That are like interested in what he's doing. Like the bad guys want to get revenge on Shang Chi, and the good guys don't believe it. And it's all the good guys that he teamed up with, or like first earlier.
Okay, cool.
And I'm like, okay.
That's
Except
fine.
I don't think Wolverine's there.
Because
he was in one, wasn't
he? He was.
Yes, he was. But yeah, it's just I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you know who's next? Thor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm in. I like this series. It's a lot of fun, and I always have a smile on my face when I'm done reading it.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Nice.
It's just such a nice departure from some of the more standard looks.
Yeah.
But still looks great.
Nice.
You want to do some super chats?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Let me scroll up ever so slightly. Got it. The Milkman saying, I'm waiting for some classic J. Jonah Jameson to tear into Ben as a fake corporate Spider-Man.
I would love that.
Deviled Ham giving us a very nice super chat and a nice sticker. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks a lot.
Uzab saying, Tiffany, what are your favorite things about Sal? Well, you got like a good hour or so because I've got a list. I love like part of my vows to Sal where I loved his honesty and his passion for things, because like Sal is, if nothing else, passionate about things that he loves, passionate about things that he doesn't like, and I truly admire that because it's rare in the world that you find someone who's willing to be honest and not just put on airs or like put on a fake persona to either like glad hand you or to just make themselves likable. Sal is likable because he is intelligent and earnest, and he's just a loving guy.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. One of my favorite things about Tiffany is that she is a problem solver. Tiffany fixes things, whether she means to or not.
You didn't. There's no tit for tat. It's okay.
Yeah, but it is.
Oh, you're so sweet. He's also really good with the cats.
Oh, thanks. So is she.
And does little voices for them, and I love him. Jesse Smith saying, just got Act 2 of Sandman on Audible. Are there plans to do a back issues on it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Speaking of that really quickly, I took a listen to that finally, and I got to tell you, I was like kind of excited for Kat Dennings to play Death, and then I heard her in Act 2, and I got to tell you, it just felt like she was just reading lines. Like there wasn't acting to it, and it really bugged me.
Yeah.
That's for another time, I guess.
Yep.
Chris Espinette saying, was lucky enough to meet you guys on Sunday.
Hey.
And I was starstruck. While New York Comic Con wasn't the same, my girlfriend and I still had a great time. I remember you. Yes. We met outside.
Mm-hmm.
It was slightly raining.
Yep.
But it wasn't too bad. It was nice though. You know what I mean? Like that's what was nice about being back at cons, because it was like, even the rain didn't dampen spirits.
No, that's true.
It's cheesy and all that. But
it
was a very different con, but it was a cool experience.
Agreed.
B Black saying, how do you feel about the world building in Marvel right now? Hulk, Venom, Thor, X-Men, and Spider-Man.
It's fine.
And how influential they will be. Oh,
not very, but I think it's nice. Like, good for them. You know, Hulk is... Donny Cates going to do what Donny Cates does. Doesn't matter, you know. So Hulk is going to go in a direction. I'm sure it won't last as long. Like, I theorize Donny Cates' Hulk will run like his Doctor Strange, where it's like, oh, that's an interpretation. Okay. But you know what I really like is this other thing you did, because like this, not so much. Because Donny Cates is like, he's really good and isn't infallible.
Mm-hmm.
And just he's just better suited for certain characters.
I agree. And also how compared to the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s influences.
No, it won't. Here's the thing, like, I don't know why, but like, there's two eras that really like had staying power. Well, not really two eras, but like there's a period like pre-90s when Marvel was still building. Like in the 80s, they were still adding shit. And then in the 90s, they were breaking shit. And then in the 2000s, they were just trying to keep it all together. And then the next time they added anything to it was either like through the all new, all different initiative or through initiatives like that. And the only way that they succeeded is either they were organically good like Ms. Marvel, or they need to exist because what they didn't count on was like actors in their cinematic universe aging out of their characters and then having to make like one day they're gonna do a bunch of different characters. Like you're gonna see Stature get her own movie. You're gonna see Viv show up at some point. Like you're gonna have Ms. Marvel and all these different characters are going to get their day in the sun in the cinematic universe, and as such, they're gonna get it in the comic books as well. And like that only will like their influence and their impact on the universe only exists because of the movies, or will only exist because the movies will have like a push behind them. Outside of that, it's like it's just what you remember. Like, and when they don't put things back to where that like you remember them, but there's an organic opportunity to do that, it just feels like they're trying not to. like with Beast, where it's like here's 3 opportunities that we can like deliberately say this is how we fixed Beast, and we won't do it. Same with Hank Pym. Same with like the Fantastic Four half the time, like Spider-Man, like just all these different things where they're like, we could fix this or put it back to the way it was, but everybody always calls us out on that. So we're not going to do that.
Right.
And it's like, that's not innovative.
Rob K giving us a great super chat and a cute hype sticker. It looks like it's a hippopotamus.
Yeah, I think it's a hippo.
Who's hyping us?
I like it. Thank
Critic
you.
Clips asking, Sal, did you read Batman the Imposter?
No.
That was that Black Label book we saw, and you're like, I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, I'll get that on digital. I'm not going to pick it up in physical.
Okay. The Telephonics saying, hey guys, anything you recommend for someone who uses the DC and Marvel subscription services, as there are mostly a year behind, but I've loved back issues.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I mean, like, absolutely avail yourselves of those like vast libraries, but I would not just check out things you missed like a year ago. I would go back further, like check out things that you've heard of or that they're using as templates for other things, like check out Extremis or Armor Wars or or read like the Alan Grant Batman runs, or I'm trying to think of like try to pick up some Joe Kelly Superman, like just grab stuff that like is tangentially related to the stuff or remember or heard of but haven't really like given it shot to.
I would say also take advantage of it, like if you care at all about events in a way, but like maybe like didn't want to keep up with them at the time because it was too much. It's a good opportunity to go back and read some events, even if like you're like meh about them. Like it's there,
right?
And if you have spare time, like go for it.
Or if you read the event, like read the tie-ins for that event. If you have like a subscription base that has all these books, that,
and if it was one that you really enjoyed,
like Secret Empire, you should absolutely have read the tie-ins for, because like it was better than the event. Civil War 2, same deal. Civil War 2 sucks. Tie-ins all better. So yeah.
One more.
Sure, yeah.
V Black saying Strange Adventures was fascinating. Never heard of the character before, but love the complexity of the story. It's nice once in a while to get a superhero story. Superhero stories devoted to what heroism means during wartime.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna pick a guy to write about it, probably Tom King's your ringer.
Yeah, we grabbed Strange Adventures number 12. I'm really so glad we got this cover. I just realized now that they wrote the 2 on. I love it. It's solid, really kind of completes the run for us.
Agreed.
Without spoiling anything, because this is clearly the end.
It's the last issue of a 12-issue mini, so one should probably
read all of it.
Yeah.
I would say that I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it's going to read even more solidly as a trade for sure, as a lot of King's 12-issue minis do.
Yep.
Like it's gonna have a very different impact. Like Mr. Miracle read differently to me when I prepped it for back issues, reading it as a trade versus reading it in individuals.
Yes.
And I think this is gonna have a similar thing. I found it to be, it was sad.
It was sad.
And like I don't have a problem with that, and I appreciated it.
Exactly. No, I agree. I think it's profound. It was it was good. It was a really good series. One of the two of the unsung heroes of this book, of course, we talk about how great, King really spins a yarn. He really tells a story, and he gives us character and emotion. Doc Shaner and Mitch Gerrits have been performing quadruple duty on this book, and they deserve all the accolades for it. These two shared art duties on this book, and it never felt like there were two artists on the book.
Right.
And that's a high compliment, I hope, for both of them, because they both have their own distinctive styles. They both have their own ability to elicit hope and joy and terror and sadness, but in their own very distinctive ways. But they managed to marry their styles to one narrative. Which
it melds perfectly. There's never, how you've read a book before where either they do it intentionally or the artist just couldn't keep up and another artist has to step in part way. And then they switch back, and it's not jarring. Like this. It's not like that at all. Like, this is perfect. It flows flawlessly. Just high praise. Loved it.
So absolutely, congratulations to all three of them on their incredible work for a fabulous series that,
Yes, please write more.
Please write more. That's my note. So yeah, great stuff. Should we talk about Dark Ages?
Yeah, let's talk about Dark Ages.
Dark Ages. From number 2 came out. I believe it was heavily delayed because I remember there being stuff that was supposed to be about this book.
I swear, I don't remember when the first one came out, but for the past few months, I feel like time has been going by really, really fast. So I was like, no, this makes sense.
Right?
It doesn't feel like this was delayed.
No,
at all.
Well, for me, it did. I was
not like Stranger Adventures,
because I kept forgetting. Oh yeah. But yeah, Dark Ages number 2 from Iban Coelho and Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor writing about a big Marvel book outside continuity. Who'd have thought? The power's out. Marvel, the Marvel universe is plunged into the Dark Ages, and how would the Marvel heroes react and cope? Especially after losing a couple of heavy hitters when they were trying to save themselves from a evil, world-threatening terror. Pretty good.
Yeah, they do fine.
They do fine.
And guess what, everybody?
Apocalypse shows up.
I was gonna say Spider-Man's got a kid.
Spider-Man is a kid, and it's May, and no bullshit. And it's great.
It's really sweet. This sets up everything from any action, adventure, horror, whatever style movie where it's everything's in the face of whatever, we're fine and we're doing great. Oh no.
Yeah, this is the zombie movie where we just had the fun time. This issue spends the first half showing you how cool it is to live in a mall. And it's look at how cool it is to build a society with superpowers.
And people working together and realizing that we were all being idiots. And, it's fine.
We're all one people.
Yeah. And initially it's oh my gosh, the big problem is vampires and werewolves. I'm okay, tell me more, Tom.
Yeah. And it's no, they're easily dispatched. No big deal. We have a whole team of characters who are going to take care of these werewolves and vampires.
And I'm tell me more, Tom.
Yeah. And the team is friggin' Wolverines and Blades. It's friggin' Elsa Bloodstone.
That Gabby grew up.
Gabby, Laura, and Blade all teaming up to kill vampires and werewolves. Because it's in the dark, the werewolf and vampire underworld is king. So
it's great. And then machinations.
And
by the way, for those who were looking for who didn't like Apocalypse the last time they saw him, we're back to Apocalypse, who thinks he's better than everyone and is so smart and great that he can totally control the big bad. He's an idiot.
Yeah,
that's what I understand about the other Apocalypse. I'm but he's an idiot.
Yeah, well, and this is one of those things where this feels like the most cohesive Marvel comic I have read in a long time. The Marvel universe is put together. Everyone is working in sync, and they're dealing with big bads. And it's you know what? It would make sense that the Marvel universe would have to deal with Apocalypse at some point. That he's not just an X-Men villain.
Right.
He is, but it would be interesting to see other villains.
Dark Ages.
Right.
It's the Dark Age of Apocalypse.
It's the Dark Age of Apocalypse. I'm sure that they probably were going to say that, and they were you can't use that. Hickman wants that.
You can't do that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I highly recommend it. You should read this series. It reads fast. I should warn you.
It does. It's you're done.
And you're oh, there's how many issues is this? And it will be a mini series.
I feel like you've mentioned that before about Taylor. I think it's just he has good pacing.
He does a good pacing.
I got. Would you have any more?
No.
I got one more. This actually might be my favorite book of the week.
Tiffany's book of the week.
This is my favorite book of the past week, I think. Oh no, wait! I also read X-Men.
Yeah,
Hold on.
did. You did read X-Men.
I did read X-Men. Let's talk about X-Men real quick.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read X-Men, but like,
it's solid.
Of course it is. It's by Jerry Duggan with art by what? Pepe Larraz?
No.
Oh no.
It's someone else, and it's perfect.
Oh.
It's perfect. This is a Halloween issue of X-Men. They're dealing with Nightmare. Because Strange is dead.
Wow.
So Nightmare shows up and he's like,
awesome.
ha! And then Jean Grey's like,
nice try.
She puts him in his place.
Nice. That's cool. That's what this book is, right? Like each issue, they're dealing with another Marvel Universe threat.
This is clearly very much a Halloween issue. There's pumpkins outside. There's a great jack-o'-lantern.
The cover is the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, but there's a pumpkin that has like, it's a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern face, and then it's like a Cyclops visor cut out. I'm like, hilarious.
Yep.
But they do also progress the plot a little bit at the end. If you
course.
get into that, but like the main story is Nightmare. And again, Larraz, is he missed? No, because of the tone of the book. Because it's supposed to be more of a horror, creepy tone.
Yeah.
And Javier Pina.
Oh, I know that person.
Does a great job. He does a solid Nightmare. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's just a little grittier looking.
Cool, as it should be. And like, you know what? Hey, an opportunity, a vehicle for Nightmare.
Click a couple pages in. You can see him. Oh, there's the pumpkin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Isn't that cute?
I love it.
There he is.
Yeah, he looks great.
He looks great. Love it.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed this issue, and I say pick it up.
Yeah, X-Men.
Even if you're just a Nightmare fan, you want to just check it out. Like he just gets his
just desserts.
Yeah, from Jean. You just won't maybe get the last page or so.
Okay.
If you haven't been following the series, but it's a fun little like just hey, check out what's happening.
Cool.
Here is my favorite book of the week.
Ah, yes.
Coming out of nowhere,
right?
Because the book that preceded it, I wasn't a huge fan of.
No.
But I gotta tell you, my favorite book of last week was Darkhold Iron Man. Do you ever imagine I would say that?
No.
Did you ever imagine you'd hear me say my favorite
book this week
was Darkhold Iron Man?
No.
It is. This was written by Ryan North with art by Guillermo Sana.
Okay.
Looks great. Solid story. If you read the Darkhold first, like the Alpha, like Darkhold Alpha #1.
Yes, I remember you reading that.
It's like, ta-da, look, there's characters.
Right.
You're like, okay, cool, whatever, there's characters.
Yeah.
This is like when Iron Man looked in the book, he saw a dark future that he didn't like, that he couldn't foresee. A what if you will, in the Darkhold written down. And this is what we get.
This is it. That's cool.
It is amazing. If you're looking for something horror that is set in the like Marvel universe in a way, you might like this. This is you could just pick this up. You could just pick this up and have a satisfying one-shot story about Iron Man, a different Iron Man, who to me acts and talks in my head a little like Arno Stark as opposed to Tony.
Makes sense.
Different feel. This is good.
Nice.
I was surprised. I was surprised at the horror in this book. I was surprised that I liked it. I liked it more than Darkhold Alpha.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the creative teams are on the other ones, but I'm going to have to get them now.
Right, because we're going to see what all of them
got to give it a shot.
See.
This one, though, good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not even going to tell you.
No, you shouldn't.
It's just, whew.
Yeah. So normally what we do is we also give recommendations for comics that are coming out this week, but we're going to do that in a minute. First, we're going to do the breakdown of the Fandome.
Okay. Do we want to read any more super chats?
Yeah, I think we should clean things up.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into the Fandome.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm trying to go back. I can't go back anymore.
You can't go back.
I can't go back. How far can you go back? Keep going. Down one more. That one.
Okay. Israel Hands, if you don't mind me jumping in, says, hi from the UK. Well, hello. Good day. I know that's Australian. Love you all, including Joel. He counts as ComicPop family to me, right? No. He's more like a neighbor.
Yeah.
But a good neighbor, you know, like I would borrow a cup of sugar from him anytime.
A cup of maple syrup.
Yeah, there you go. I miss ComicPop Draws. It was such a great show. Keep up
Thank
the good
you.
work.
I love that show.
It was a great show.
I love that show.
It's a great idea. It was such a
Thank
good
you.
idea. And if YouTube gave a shit about innovation and diversity of content, they would have let that show continue.
We should do it on TikTok.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay.
All right, now you got to read the next one too, because I can't go down to that one.
Ollie Davis, putting positive thoughts out there and spreading the opulence where I can. Hope you're well.
Thank you
very much, Ollie. Same to you.
Can you scroll down a little more to make sure that I'm on the next one?
Yeah.
I don't have that one either.
Goku says, you guys are such a good couple. Heartwarming stuff right there. Well, thank you very much.
You.
It's very nice of you. Brandon Santiago, can't wait for Battle of the Super Sons, aka John took the last pizza slice and Damien snapped. Yeah, man. No, that's we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yes, yeah, man, more Super Sons.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Owen Rhodes says, do you think you guys will cover Strange Adventures on back issues? I love all of your Tom King stories on there.
Yeah, I talked about this on Twitter a little bit. I said, I don't know if we'll do it. What do you think?
I don't know.
Like, I think it lends itself, like, I don't know if it lends itself to the format, but I think we could do it. I think we could do any book.
It could be done. I don't know.
Yeah.
Young Goku over 9,000 saying, I have every issue of Strange Adventures and will finally read them, lol. Hey, that's you like trade waited, but like didn't have to wait as long.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for the trade, which will probably be in a month or two.
Also, I'm reading Joker, and it's really solid, but I can't help but feel like Joker needs to die and leave for some years. Thoughts? I agree.
Yeah.
I think he went from being like, you know, like a fun thing that like would like show up, or you know, you knew it was lurking, or like a break glass in case of emergency, like if sales are dipping, bring the Joker in, to he's a crutch.
Yeah. No, he absolutely was.
You know, there's like the pillars of the DC. There's also the crutch.
Yeah. Batman is one of those too. But yeah, actually, it's funny. Jamestown the Fourth, you know, still working on this book. This is the last book of I think of his from DC outside of the Batman book. And yeah, they approached him. They were like, "We want to do a Joker book," and he refused, from what I understand, from firsthand knowledge. He refused the book until he said, like, basically threw his Jamestown the Fourth around and was like, "I can't do it unless it's this." And this was a secret backdoor Jim Gordon book. And it's like, yeah, they're like, whatever, as long as it says Joker on it, I don't give a shit. But yeah.
Okay.
So a little behind the scenes notes about that shit.
And I'm fine with that, because I'd rather it just have been a Jim Gordon book, but I get that a Jim Gordon book's not going to sell.
No one's going to buy that.
Except for me.
There was a book called Gordon of Gotham, which you own.
I do.
Yeah.
I do own that. Alex Sanchez saying, hey, Sal and Tiff.
Hey.
Hope you're having an awesome day. Sal, did you hear Tony Todd is going to play Venom in Spider-Man 2? That's what it says.
No, I did not hear that.
And then it says Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. You made me say it out loud.
Oh, yes. I did hear that he's doing the voice. Yeah. I did hear that. That's a great voice. Fine by me.
Oh, yeah. The game.
Yes.
I was like.
Yes, I did hear that in the game. Yes. That's a great voice. Yeah. No, he's great idea.
He has a great voice.
Yep. Yeah, I got to say it 5 times, by the way.
Oh, is it 5?
So you're fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, the Fandome dropped a whole bunch of different stuff. Let's talk about it. Did you see anything from Black Adam?
No, I asked you literally, is there anything else I need to
All right, you're fine. It's just you know, they showed you Black Adam. He's a badass. He kills somebody with his electricity powers, you know, like, that's it. All you need to know is that, like, Pierce Brosnan is playing Dr. Fate in that movie.
I do need to know that.
And I don't know if like they were interviewing him on set, but he has like this great like goatee look, you know, no biases on my part, but he looks great. He looks cool. He looks like Dr. Fate. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And I think there was a shot where you see him like with the helmet.
Oh.
So like, yeah. And it's like he better, because like the best thing about Dr. Fate is that friggin' helmet.
Yes.
But yeah. So Black Adam, we got some preliminary footage. It looks like it's the footage was finished. Unlike the Flash footage where it's like, that suit ain't done. This is pretty much done.
Okay.
So it's looking good.
That's good. And that's coming out sooner than Flash, or after Flash?
I think after Flash. I think it's hitting July 29th, 2022.
Okay.
They made a big deal during this friggin' like 5-hour event about giving Grant Gustin on the new Flash show's costume boots. They were like, he's getting gold boots.
Okay.
Like, the boots are back. And they all, it's like art. Boots are back. And I'm like, he didn't have boots before? Cool. You have a great show. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is another movie that's coming out.
Good. I mean,
yeah, the boots look good. It looks like the way the costumes look for the last 80 years. What a freaking surprise that it looks good on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're making an Aquaman sequel. He's getting a blue suit. It comes out in December 2022. That's it.
That's right. Black Adam has the JSA in it.
Yes, the JSA is going to be in the Black Adam movie.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's going to be like it's going to take place in at least a few timelines.
Right.
Or time periods. But yeah, Aquaman, he's getting the blue stealth suit. It looks like the regular suit, but blue. It's not terribly exciting.
Okay.
The most exciting thing, however, was the announcement from Milestone. Number one, Milestone, those books that got season 1s are all getting season 2s. So Static and Hardware. Yep. All the books sold well enough to get sequels.
Okay.
And they're making a Milestone animated movie.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So I love that. I wish it were live action because I know there's a certain level of respect for live action.
As I understand it, they're working on it.
Okay.
They're working towards it.
But I think that animated movies are film anyway, so I'm okay with this as long as like they take the time, pick the right animation style, and like really put a lot of like hard work into it. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of people, that's how they met Static.
Right. It was from the freaking cartoon.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you do know Static from the cartoon, you should read Dwayne McDuffie's book because it is great.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to read any of the old Milestone comics, they're coming out with a 1,300-page compendium that's going to have basically all of Milestone into one big, massive, ridiculous volume. And that's coming soon enough. That's going to have Static, Icon, Hardware, and probably Blood Syndicate. Also, Blood Syndicate's getting a book, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of neat stuff coming from Milestone.
That's cool.
You can check that out.
Yeah.
They had a new trailer for Justice League or for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League from Rocksteady. There is no gameplay footage, just another cutscene. It was very tedious. Honestly, I couldn't get that excited about it.
Okay.
It was just very self-indulgent.
I'm looking forward to seeing some actual gameplay on this.
Yeah, the game will look cool. The game will be fun. It's made by a great studio.
And I like the logo.
Yeah, the logo's great. No, I was really impressed with that logo.
I like the logo quite a bit. I like where the title's written. It's
fun. Peacemaker, obviously, we all knew he was getting an HBO Max series, but we got like basically a full-on trailer for the Peacemaker show. The thing that blew my mind the most was that Vigilante's going to be in it. And Vigilante sucks, but I love that he's in it, and he has a comic-accurate costume.
I love that we watched that. You showed the trailer to me and Ben. And and you're like, and Vigilante's
Vigilante!
And Ben and I are like,
who? And I'm like, we did a whole episode about the debut of Vigilante.
I'm like, and apparently I just blocked that out. I was like, I remember Resurrection Man.
Yeah. Which should have a show. But
that was the end of what I remembered. I didn't know. I knew there was a show coming. I did not know any of the casting. And so I was surprised to see Robert Patrick.
Yes.
There,
as the dad.
As the dad.
Yep. And Eagly, who stole the show for people.
Yes, for sure. I did not expect myself to be excited about this. Or like interested, I should say.
Right.
And I am definitely interested in this show.
Yeah. It looks like a fun show.
Yeah, that's exactly. It just looks like it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right. They made a lot of Superman announcements. The one that like was taking people by storm was the announcement that Superman's new mantra will be truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, as opposed to the American way.
Okay.
Which he hasn't used since the Fleischer cartoons.
No, but to a lot of people who maybe don't read comics, that is what they associate.
Right. But
even
I don't think he even said it during those. Like, I think it was like truth, justice, and like hope or something like that. But
no, he doesn't say it. It was the the announcer.
Yes, it was the announcer.
And so like there is like there's a cultural zeitgeist entry for that then. And so even if you don't read the comics and know that like he has gone beyond just protecting one like country. To being a protector of not only the world but other worlds and multiverses and such, that like this for them will be like that's nice.
Right. I think Reeves said it in the first movie.
Could be.
But Smallville's getting a Blu-ray release. Yay. And more, like there's some stuff. I saw like a clip from the from the Superman and Lois show. I don't care. What was it? They mentioned more about that League of Super Pets movie. It's a CG animated movie that's coming out in theaters that's starring like The Rock as Crypto and whatnot. I think it's a brilliant marketing plan because like Secret Life of Pets and Minions and crap like did really well, and like it's a great way to engender this universe to children who would go who are going to be dragged to this like movie, you know, because like parents need to take their kids to the theater. They need to show them something. There's not a lot of things to show them. There's not a lot of like in theater movies for children. This is one of those things, and it's something that they'll probably enjoy, I'm sure. I don't know.
You know, I'll probably check it out.
Right. I couldn't care less. More stuff about Doom Patrol.
Here's the show that I bet nobody over there backed
No.
initially. Like if they had a betting pool on what show that rolled out with the original DC Universe app was going to be rolling into its 4th season,
yep,
someone would have won a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, I think they were very excited about Titans, which is still going, and they're a realistic clip, and the acting is just awful. But with Doom Patrol though is a real show with like really good actors and a fun premise.
Right, but it's a little more esoteric, and I bet they, I mean, listen, they got some great casting going in there.
They did,
for sure, but like I don't know how much they believed in it based on like what happened with Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah,
and how much that cost and such. But it's like
poor Abby.
Fourth season, congratulations.
Yep, right. Good for you guys.
Yes.
They released a like first look at the Flash. It was basically a trailer. We got a couple of scenes in the Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. I would
call it definitely a teaser.
Yeah, it is a teaser.
You don't really get, I mean, like if you know what it's based on, you have an idea, but it doesn't really reveal its plot to the average moviegoer.
No, the average moviegoer is going to be like, what? I mean, like based on just how weird Ezra Miller looks, I was surprised to find that he was playing 2 characters in that trailer. I'm like, oh, there's one that looks like Ezra Miller, and there's one that looks like Ezra Miller from like a year ago. It's really weird. And the Supergirl is in it too, which I didn't notice originally. Because they cast a new Supergirl, and she's in that multiverse, and they're all teaming up to hang out with Michael Keaton Batman, who provided the voiceover for the teaser. He does a really nice job. He doesn't sound old at all. I don't know. For me, I'm like, I know people are like, Batman, but I'm like, it's 89 Batman though. Like it's Michael Keaton Batman.
So here's what I think is interesting about that, and like this was my my biggest reaction to this trailer when we watched it, because it's like, are we going to see it? Yeah, we got to talk about it. We're going to see it, right? And like, I hope to have a good time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the universe they build for the 89 Batman like take on it from today is going to look like.
Yeah,
but I was like, so you make like a standalone Aquaman movie, you make a standalone Wonder Woman movie.
Right. And like Batman's not in any of those.
Batman's not in any of those. You're going to put the Flash out, and it's like, we better put Batman in this.
Well,
and that's what it feels like. I don't think that's what it is.
It is, but it's like they're doing Flashpoint. At least there's a precedent.
No,
at least
Batman
is
so
in.
Like, I don't truly believe that's the only reason to do it, but it feels like the way DC sells certain books.
Yes.
Put Batman in it.
Put Batman in it. That'll sell. And they're not wrong, because like, that's really interesting. My hope, by the way, is that like out of this, we get a true Batman 3.
Oh.
Is that Michael Keaton enjoyed it so much, they made it so comfortable, they gave him so much money, that like out of this, they're like, we made Joker, we made Birds of Prey, we have all these different movies that are all in these different continuities. Let's just make a real sequel to Batman Returns.
Yeah. No, it just feels like they don't have a lot of faith in this, and yeah. He's not my favorite take on the character anyway.
No, he's not.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I was like, wow, there's a lot of dark-haired people in this movie.
I have no problem with that.
No, I know, but like
that. I just don't.
But neither of them have dark hair.
I don't
like neither real Flashes.
Well, that's true, but you know, he's a different Flash, and that's totally fine. Like I just, he's not my favorite iteration of a Flash. I'm not saying I need to have like
Michael Rosenbaum put on a
yeah,
because he plays Wally in Justice League.
Right. Like I don't need that necessarily. I just, maybe I haven't gotten to know his take on the character well enough, like because he hasn't had a solo movie yet.
No,
but I just was like,
yeah.
So that's just me.
Yeah, it looks fine. The suit looks better than it did, but like it also looks very CG, and I'm like, don't Green Lantern this, you fools. Sandman, they just released more stuff about Sandman.
Yeah, they're just showing, they're trying to do more character posters.
Yep. Yay. Read the comic. It's really good.
No, definitely read the comic. And I'm not saying don't watch the show. I am saying I wish they got someone different on lighting.
Yeah.
Or had a different idea of how they wanted to light the sequences.
That's
based
fair.
on the trailer. But again, it's on a trailer, so I can't really make a decision.
Yeah. Injustice, which was a movie that was leaked and everyone has already reviewed, is coming out in a day.
This is one of those, like, sliders kind of thing where, like, I feel like I came from another universe where this already happened.
It absolutely did. Everyone's already seen this movie.
I was 1,000%. I was like, didn't they already do an Injustice movie? And you're like, no, there's just the games. And I'm like, no, I know there was the games, but wasn't there a movie?
Right.
Like, I am so convinced, and I still am, that
that you slid. No, I'm telling you, like, it's just there was 2 games. There's 2 games. There's a comic book series that went on forever. That's it. And then there's this movie, which is not great.
I know you're right, but I'm like,
yeah. I was excited to say that, like, they finally showed you a little bit about the, like, Blue Beetle movie, which is going full on in with the Jaime Reyes territory. Great opportunity for getting some new fans and introducing a young hero to the DC universe. Good idea. There's very little that they showed. They didn't even show the suit. They just talked about how great it was. Jean Louis Yang is taking the Monkey Prince, who debuted in his remember that like Asian cavalcade of heroes and stuff. Yeah, well, that's getting its own book.
Oh, cool.
And so you got to talk about that.
I might check that out. I really like his writing. I like his voices for different characters.
Agreed.
Like, he does have different voices for them, and that's why I like that.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Gotham Knights, they showed you more about, like, the Court of Owls being the main villain of this video game.
Yep.
No gameplay footage, unfortunately. Very little information outside of the fact that, like, it's going full in on a Court of Owls. They got Scott to come on, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm really excited. I invented that, And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember."
Yeah, we know what.
But yeah. They released a trailer for the Batwoman show for the new season 3 of Batwoman.
Okay.
And it, like, I really think it's cute. Like, the trailer itself, the people are talking about the trailer, and I'm just mentioning it because I saw it. And the trailer is like a Mod Squad 1960s-esque, like, pitch. That's not what the show is going to be, but it's going to be like a buddy kind of show where, like, it doesn't matter. The point is, like, Kate Kane's evil sister Alice is now, like, under, like, house arrest, and Batwoman has to be with her. So it's like, the bad guy and the hero or have to go on adventures together. The Batwoman costume is so bad, I would be embarrassed to be wearing it.
Oh no!
Like, I'm just like, I just couldn't believe I just couldn't believe my eyes.
I find it.
I don't watch the show.
I find it interesting. Like, it's really hard to nail a superhero suit.
Yes.
In TV or even in the movies.
Yeah.
And I find that to be super interesting. And I don't pretend to have an answer. And I don't pretend to be like, well, if I were in charge, because I don't know. Because clearly there's something up. Because these are costume designers. That's what they do for a living.
They've been doing it for years. They decades. They know how to make it. They know how to make it real.
I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying, just in general, like.
No, I've seen cosplay better. This is it was embarrassing. I was like, I would be embarrassed to have this on my face. They released a trailer for a new animated movie called Catwoman Hunted. It is very much in kind of like a Totally Spies anime Western style. The voice cast is great. The premise is fun. Catwoman is being enlisted by, like, the government or whatever, or like a shady, like, organization to take down Leviathan and team up with Batwoman to do it, and they'll erase her criminal record or whatever.
That's like a big thing for her.
Yeah.
That's come up in many, many different.
That's Warner Brothers' perception of what motivates Catwoman.
Yeah.
So, but it's Catwoman teaming up with Batwoman to fight, like, the 1%. And it's like, what a fun idea.
I love in this image that we're looking at how squishy her ears look. I just
they are totally squishy.
I just got to do this.
I don't know why, but it's a fun little modification of the Darwin Cook suit.
Love it.
What was it? There's the Titans show that looks horrible. There's a Harley Quinn. They announced basically just there's going to be another season of Harley.
Okay.
It's funny because, like, they complained about how long it took and how much, like, work the animators are doing, but they also fully animated a sequence where Harley Quinn gives the keynote of the episode, like, of the show. And I'm like, maybe you should have just not done that, had Kaylee Cuoco come on and talk about it, and then you could have, like, dedicated that time, money, and animation to the show.
Well, maybe.
But
I'm sure that was kind of cool.
It was cool. It was very cute. It was a lot of fun. Plus, it was King Shark and Harley. So it's
right.
Bruce Timm announced his work on a show called Batman Caped Crusader.
I love that poster.
Yes, Bruce Timm is calling it more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series.
No, don't do that.
Yep, he is doing it.
No. That sounds like when they changed the animation.
Oh yeah, and they're not changing the animation because it's Bruce Timm, but like they are changing the fact that Paul Dini has nothing to do with it. So it's going to be just Bruce Timm unfiltered, which is a horrible thing, and I hate it every time. But Bruce Timm will not be alone working on Batman the Caped Crusader, an animated series that will be taking place in a nebulous period like the 40s. It will have no other character in it. Like it's going to be Batman, no Justice League, no Superman, no Robins, just Batman. It's going to be like a serial, and he's working with Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman, and J.J. Abrams.
Will there be marshmallows in this cereal?
No, with an S. But yeah, if you ever saw the Batman 75th anniversary short that was like black and white, where he like fights Hugo Strange and he doesn't talk, and he saves like a sexy Bruce Timm-esque woman from like distress, it's that. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like, next time on Batman, and but he also wants to push the envelope because like he doesn't have to deal with the ratings anymore.
Okay.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this.
Okay.
Todd was on to talk about the new cool toys. They're making a faceless Joker from Greg Capullo's run.
Sure.
They're making other stuff.
Cool toys.
They're going to be so awesome and cool, and you're going to love them. He made the Batman toys, like you saw Robert Pattinson and Catwoman and stuff, getting a really good look at like what those suits and people look like.
Okay.
They released a trailer for the Naomi series.
Cool.
The trailer, it's a CW show. What do you want?
Okay.
They showed you a little bit of Shazam 2. I think it's so funny that like Shazam 2 is in this world of like Black freaking Adam, a Shazam character who did not appear in a Shazam movie, is coming out. Also, this Shazam sequel. It's just like, okay, I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. Wonder Woman's getting an 80th anniversary book, which like it's about time.
Cool.
Wonder Woman is getting a event called Trial of the Amazons, and I love it because somebody said that it was the first major crossover event for Wonder Woman in 30 years, and I was like, you didn't read Amazon's Attack. And if you didn't read Amazon's Attack and you don't want to, you should check out back issues on youtube.com/ComicPop and watch our takedown of Amazon's Attack, one of the worst DC Comics events of all time.
That's why they're saying it's the first.
Yeah, it's not.
We'll just ignore it.
You know what? If you want to reference War of the Gods, it's also horrible. But
so, by the way, this is the roster from Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, you needed to be reading all that to be keeping up with why these people are doing what they're doing.
Oh, I love it because like like you're seeing Trial of the Amazons features Diana, Nubia, Yara Flor, Artemis, and Hippolyta. No Cassie. no Dinah.
Maybe. And they could be there,
but they're not there.
They showed up briefly in in a panel.
Briefly.
You crackers.
The Christian Convery did a little like reminder that Sweet Tooth is getting a second season. It's the cutest kid in the world.
Like literally.
Yeah. So just delightful. I'm glad that he's based on like shows that you'd expect to succeed that failed, like Why the Last Man. I would have expected Sweet Tooth to have filmed like more than one season before hoping for a second. I was like, no, just do the whole show. What are you doing? Because like, you don't want these people to grow out of their roles. Like, I want to see what happens next, not like a year later. I don't want to do a time jump, but it's, if you haven't watched Sweet Tooth, it's one of the best like TV adaptations of a graphic novel. Like it's wonderful. I love it. It's just a really good show. But yeah, so Sweet Tooth, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Thank God. He also showed like, that his ears and antlers were practical.
He was like he's like, yeah.
Yeah. So cute.
Do you want to talk about any super chats real quick? I feel like I missed one.
Oh, I think we should. Yeah. Let's
quickly, because everyone wants to. I bet the orange one.
Yeah, we do have to talk about the Batman.
Yeah, that. And by one, I mean I missed a lot of them.
Yeah, I think we're good with here. Where it's 343 Burning Legion, who says Duggan's X-Men is the Avengers book I've been waiting for.
It writes.
Yeah, man. I've been waiting for an Avengers book I want to read since Bendis left. Meow Nian, I'm sure you'll get to it, but do you think that the colors of the Batman were intentionally evoking Batman Year One because Reeves sure loves it? Yes. There's a deliberate color palette in this movie. We'll talk about that in a minute. Dan V900, the animated Milestone movie is written by Brandon Thomas, probably comes from out before the live-action static film produced by Michael B. Jordan. Who knows, though? Remember when they announced the Green Lantern HBO show? Yeah, no, they didn't talk about the Green Lantern HBO show. They didn't even hint at a Green Lantern anything. So, yeah, it's really weird. But, yes, we're getting an animated movie.
I like how they're just like, everything else is working. Just leave.
Just don't talk about it.
We just won't talk about Green Lantern anymore. Yeah. Ever again.
Yeah. But they're embarrassed by it.
By that?
By the failure of the first movie.
Oh, sure.
It's like that movie was 10 years old.
Ian says, Tiffany, you got me started on Die by Kieran Gillen. Still waiting for that last volume. I hear ya.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you got into it because like that is like, I love that book and it's like, it's such an interesting pitch, but like, I get that it's not for everybody. So I'm glad you found it and I'm glad you're digging it. Sal, loving back issues as I have for years. Thank you both for everything. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Hanging out with us. Nerd King 101 saying, Tiffany, did you want to say something else?
No.
Tiffany, you watch Totally Spies? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Right?
Not me.
No. And then we got a trailer for the Batman.
We did get that.
And like, I thought we got a trailer for the Batman last time, but people are like, that wasn't a trailer. That was a teaser. And I'm like, yeah, it was a teaser because it teased the hell out of me. I love that teaser. Like, that teaser was so good. Great music. No dialogue until he just beats the living shit out of a man and then says he's vengeance when he asks him who he is.
Yeah.
Really solid trailer.
Yep.
Or teaser, I should say. This trailer showed you like what the plot is, what the tone is, what like a much better look at the action, the characters, what to expect from this movie. And I think ultimately it did a disservice to the movie.
I agree. I'm not saying I'm not excited for this movie because I still am excited for this movie and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it was a badly cut trailer.
I agree.
I think it didn't do a good job.
No, I think the trailer was all over the place. I didn't really get the music. I felt like the color palette was like all over the place. The color palette's good, but like I don't know if they were doing it deliberately for the trailer or if it's in the movie because it doesn't match the teaser. Like maybe that was an afterthought. I don't know, but it was really odd to me overall. Plus, you got a lot of different pieces of information that you have to process that you need time to like they're like, here's the first look at the suit. Here's Catwoman as well. Here's Penguin. Here's Riddler. Here's this, that, and the other thing. It's like, dude, like give me a second. Like, don't worry. We're all gonna go see a new Batman movie.
Yeah.
Like less is more.
Yeah.
You know, people are talking about the new No Way Home trailer. Like, yeah, I bet to steal DC's thunder, they're gonna release a new No Way Home trailer. I'm like, I don't want to see another friggin' scrap of cinema from that movie. Like the next time I want to see any new footage from No Way Home is in the theater when I'm watching it. And with the Batman, like that first teaser. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You get a little bit of Batmobile. It's like, whoa. And then you see all of it. And by the way, like, it looks dope, but like,
yeah,
quit showing me so much. Like, stop, dial it back.
I expected something, I think, a little more polished.
And
it just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
There were a couple of moments where I'm like, that, like,
and it could just be the fact that it was so categorically different feeling from that teaser.
Yeah.
Like the teaser showed us like one type of movie, which listen, I knew it's a Batman movie. There's going to be punching.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to sell me on punching. He punches people in that. This was like, it's an action movie.
Yes.
And I'm like, I get it. It is probably going to be an action movie, but then don't show that first teaser.
I think that because here's the rumor. The rumor is that it's 3 hours long. It's a detective movie. It deals with the Riddler as an undercurrent. He's like Jigsaw. Batman's trying to solve this mystery. And it's like, yeah, I bet that's what it is.
Sure.
And it could be that all the action sequences that are in the movie are in this trailer, and that's it. Like Batman has one fiery car chase. He has one crazy Daredevil-esque hallway fight, which like, hey, you know what? The Daredevil hallway fights, they work. So keep them up.
Yeah.
He deals with the Joker gang. There's also like the mystery of who he's talking to in the prison. Like he goes to this person and it's like, but Riddler is the shadowy character. Like, are we long Halloweening it? Is that going to be Calendar Man? Or are you going to go out of your way to put Joaquin Phoenix's old Joker in this movie? Like, what is happening? See what I'm talking about? Where I said, like, there's like 19,000 things in this trailer, and you're like, wait. It's like, when I see a trailer, I just want to be like, whoa! I just want, what is this? Like, I just want to be focused on, like, flashes that I can't possibly parse.
Right. Well, I think really what it is like, it's just, it's evidence of like why, first of all, I think people who edit trailers, like people who edit good trailers have a true skill. They have an incredible skill. They have an incredible skill. Something that can just get you excited for something.
Totally.
Or like give you a really good idea of like what it's going to be without going overboard or oversharing, essentially.
Right.
And this just didn't, I'm not saying, maybe I shouldn't say it was bad.
No.
I feel like it was a fine trailer.
Yes.
But it's like Batman is the flagship for these guys.
This is it. This is the big one for them.
And like, I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I mean, like, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it. And like, I try so hard never to judge a movie by its trailer.
No,
the person editing that trailer is not the same person who's editing and putting that movie together.
Unless it's Suicide Squad.
But you know what I mean? Like, so it's just, it's something that we want to talk about.
Yeah. And I don't want to pretend like they used to be great, because like there's like, you watch old trailers like for Jaws. They're horrible.
No, I think
it's become an art form.
I think it has become an art form. And I think that there is something to it. And I think a good trailer can lie to you and make a good movie look great.
Like Prometheus. That trailer's amazing.
For sure.
Or Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
First teaser, phenomenal.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just I think what it is for me is just that it felt so different from that teaser.
Yeah. Yeah.
The teaser was very reserved.
I agree.
And
yes. It took its time.
It was time, and it was that was a teaser for the world.
Yes. Yes.
And
this is a trailer. I think this is a trailer for like the fans.
And this was just something very different. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like,
yeah. Cause like, here it is. Like you go, wow, that's Colin Farrell's Penguin, and he's doing a voice and everything. And by the way, like, he looks like the Penguin. Like
he looks great.
He looks like the cover.
He looks great. I love it. And like, I loved, I really like Zoe Kravitz. As Selena.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've seen the Todd McFarlane figure, and her suit, like her cat suit from the neck down, is great.
Oh no.
You only see her eyes. She has like a ninja mask.
Okay.
Kind of ears.
Okay.
I'm like, Darwin Cook gave you a mask.
Wow.
You're good. Yeah, Darwin Cook gave you the suit. You don't need to like go nuts or reinvent the wheel.
Like, I dig her as that.
How do you like Pattinson's suit?
I really wasn't even paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many bullets flying at it.
I know. I saw. I because I saw the figure. Like you could see a lot of things. Like a lot more armor than I thought. A lot more gadgets than I thought. And the suit, the cowl is made from like leather.
Yeah.
Or at least like that equivalent thereof, and it looks pretty cool.
Someone in the chat saying trailers just need to make hype. Sometimes a trailer should.
Do you need hype for a Batman movie?
I was gonna say sometimes a trailer should. I feel like a trailer should set the tone.
Yeah.
And I think the teaser did a better job, and I'm wondering if people didn't see the teaser, and if it ends up being that movie, they're not going to be mad because they got lied to by the trailer.
Right.
Because if the trailer is
if not a lie,
the movie isn't mostly action.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Then it's going to make people really freak out.
Then they're going to be like, what the hell? You promised me all this action. And it's like, well, didn't you watch the teaser?
Right.
I don't know. That's where I'm like, I feel like it should, unless they're trying to hide something, display a little bit of the tone.
Yeah.
You can lie to me a little bit.
Oh,
because
no.
You don't want to tell me the plot. I don't want to know the plot.
Right.
It's fine.
For the record, like I love the tone of the teaser, and I love the premise of like, hey, are you telling me you're gonna make a friggin' like 3-hour Batman movie where he fights the friggin' Riddler?
Yeah, I'm in.
I am so on board.
Although that latte shot, I was like, okay.
I thought that was fine. Because I like the sequence. Like it looked like that opening shot looks like it's from friggin' Blade Runner. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't really associate Batman with Blade Runner unless you're reading like the current Batman run right now. But
yeah,
I'm all for it. Like, I love the tone. I love the look. I want Batman to feel like a noir movie. I saw some hilarious tweet, and I think I've seen it like 1,000 times now, where they're like, God, I thought that trailer was cool, but like, I wish they would just make a really gritty Batman movie once. Just a really dark and gritty Batman movie for a change.
I gotta tell you, like, I 100% get why they put it in this trailer. I 100% get it, because it is a beautiful looking image that they've come up with him walking out of the fire.
Oh yeah.
I wish that was a surprise.
Me too. So good looking.
It's so good looking. And I'm like, I'm going to love it just as much in the theater. I have no doubt.
But I would have been like, wow.
But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's
so good.
It's dope looking, but I'm like,
yeah, such a good shot though. But like, yeah, so I think this movie is going to be great. Like the from what I've seen, I was already hyped for this movie. Now I know more about like who's in it, but I also don't know the sequence. It could be like Prometheus, where it's a whole big lie. We're only seeing like 2 minutes of the first, like maybe it's like Endgame, where it's like, no. You have no idea.
Yeah.
We only showed you like the first 5 minutes of the movie. But I'm in. I also and if I'm gonna nitpick one more time, Riddler should look like a dapper, debonair man and not like a gimp. But he does. He has like a full head mask with yeah. He looks
doing something else.
Doing something else. Fine.
Trying something new.
Fine. I want him to be cool. Yeah. I feel like this is. I know a lot of people are saying it's like year one. But I think this is like a combination because of the Riddler. I think because they love Scott's influence because of the Court of Owls and everything, that it's more like a year one-ification of 0 year.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which that's fine. Because I think it's really about like Gotham being like epically destroyed by the Riddler, which that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea to see. Yeah. Outside of I'm doing it. Anyway. So yeah, I think the movie looks dope, but I wish it were more. I liked the teaser more than the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I was already excited. I
already was excited.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just but I was already excited.
Yeah. Don't show me more.
Stop.
What other super chats do we have before we get into the recommendations?
Oh, I got one from Jacob Simpson saying, "Love you guys. By the way, am I the only one who feels like the new trailer just looks like Nolan's Batman 2.0? I don't know. I'm not clamoring for yet another dark or gritty Batman movie."
I am, but I'm clamoring for a comic book version.
That's what it is, and I completely get where you're coming from because as much as I do enjoy the Nolan movies, there's something intrinsically not comic booky about it.
No, it's all Nolan.
Even if it's literally, it's you got Catwoman and the Joker and Gordon, you got all these names.
Yeah, but they're all apologies.
But it doesn't feel like a comic book world. The grit there is the grime you feel when you go to the city.
Yeah,
and
we're really in Chicago.
Right. I feel like this grime is going to be more of that fictitious noir. Maybe you might want to go there.
Yeah.
Because it's ooh.
Because it's so atmospheric. Something will happen to you.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'd say maybe.
Yeah.
It's that, but I get it.
Totally.
I get it. Especially because it's we have Catwoman's in it and she does the flip thing.
Yes.
It's it's hinting at that
in
that way. It's making some visual cues from the Nolan films. So I completely get that jump.
Totally. Let's jump into some recommendations for comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. But before we do, I wanted to mention a few things. For one thing, if you do like comics, you should get ready to celebrate Scott-tober with this October with 3 brand new titles from acclaimed comic book writer Scott Snyder and Comixology Originals featuring art from superstar artists like Greg Capullo, Francesco Francavilla, and Francis Manapul. These titles will be released throughout the month of October, exclusively there on Comixology Unlimited. Try Comixology Unlimited today for a free 30-day trial and get unlimited access to over 40,000 comics, graphic novels, and manga. Go to comixology.com/unlimited now to begin your adventure. As I said, I read We Are Demons. It's pretty cool. It's very Scott and Greg today.
We have demons?
Yes, we do have demons.
No, was it? You said we are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which
we have.
Which I kind of like.
We are demons.
We are demons.
Well, they kind of are. Well, I won't get into it, but the art's fantastic and the writing is very Scott. Clear is very much like a Blade Runner meets Scott Snyder noir book. It's something that it probably would have taken him a good couple of years to be able to make this kind of book. Manapul on the art, you got to read it. Yeah. And then there's another one, which I didn't look up. I'm sorry.
I like that. I was just trying to remember it.
And I have access to it. Like I can read it. And I didn't read it yet. What the hell's wrong with me?
I don't know. We got another super chat.
Oh, yeah, we do.
From Dan V900 saying the teaser is definitely better and they only shot 25% of the film when that was cut together, and which is probably where the self-restraint came from.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah. I was surprised how much Penguin was in the trailers. It's only in 5 or 6 scenes, apparently.
Okay, cool. A heads up, by the way, don't spoil movies for me. I really don't want to know how many scenes characters are in.
Yeah.
But but that's for the future. For now, it's I was surprised by how much Penguin we saw in this trailer because I know there's a lot of high profile actors that are cast.
That's why they're showing it, because it's look at all these actors we got.
Right.
Look at all these characters we're putting in there.
Yeah. And from what I understand, the Farrell suit is a suit. He didn't gain weight or anything, which is cool. Good. All right. Don't destroy your body just to be in a movie. They're fake, right?
He's I'll just become the Penguin, literally.
Yeah. No. Danny DeVito was the Penguin because he can't change that. That's what he looks like.
That's just me.
Yeah.
This is how I am.
And Critic Clips his opinion on the Alfred look. I mean, he looks like Andy Serkis.
That's really what it is. He just looks like Andy Serkis.
Like, he can't help it. That's what he looks like.
He can't. Well, listen, we know there are some weird.
I mean, Colin Farrell had to wear a suit. Yeah.
There are some like actors out there who are less conventional looking who can meld into a role.
Yes. Andy Serkis looks like Andy Serkis.
And I don't. That's not like the benchmark. That's not like what all actors must do.
No.
That is a few select actors out there who can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's jump into some comics. So I'm recommending Batman Catwoman #8. It comes out tomorrow, actually on Tuesday, from Tom King and Liam Sharp. Liam Sharp jumping in for a brief period until Clayman can catch back up. But this book, I've been enjoying it. It's very out of sequence. It's very weird, but I do enjoy it. And I think, if you haven't read it, you should read the first 7 issues until you get to here, but it's still pretty good. The Trial of Magneto continues. I forgot there was a second issue, but there's a third one from Lee Williams and David Messina. Who cares?
Seemingly meaning nothing at this point, but
yep, exactly. Totally meaningless. Daredevil Halloween Comic Book Extravaganza 2021 is coming out. A new Daredevil rises to protect Hell's Kitchen. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's a Daredevil book, and it's like, showing you the period where Zdarsky took over in Elektra's Daredevil.
I'm super excited that it's called a Halloween Extravaganza.
I agree.
On the cover. Also, for some reason, this site is saying that its cover price is 30 cents, but that's not true.
I can't imagine. If you haven't already checked out Green Lantern, it's a fun book, and it's written by Jeffrey Thorne with art by Tom Rainey. Tom Rainey does some great stuff. Thorne's work is also good, and you got Kilowog, and he's in trouble. Read it if you haven't already checked it out. There's another comic book extravaganza coming out called Hawkeye Halloween Extravaganza. It looks like it's going to be like some kind of anthology where it's showing you books that you might have missed the first time around. So this is the Marvel Now Kate Bishop, Kelly Thompson book.
Oh, maybe they are cheap then.
So they could be 30 cents. They're just showing you first issues for cheap.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I love when they do that. Here, take something free. Or cheap as free. What else do you recommend, Tiffany?
That's a fine question because I didn't look at the list because we were talking. I'm going to recommend for you guys The Death of Doctor Strange #2 because what's even happening in that book? Written by Jed McKay with art by Lee Garbett.
Yep.
Is that right? Did I say that correctly?
You did say it correctly.
Keep going. Is this a late week for me?
Yes.
Keep going. I just can't get into it.
I will recommend, I read this book and it's ridiculous. Not All Robots from AWA. I read the first 2 issues. I think they sent me the books, and it's ridiculous.
That sounds correct.
It's a book that I would think Ethan would enjoy, but then I'd be worried Ethan would not enjoy it because it would appeal to his sensibilities. It's a really crazy book. It's only on the 3rd issue.
There you go. I want to give you a heads up that there's going to be a Hill House comic coming out called Refrigerator Full of Heads, but it's not written by Joe Hill.
No.
So just giving you a heads up. It's out there if you're interested. It's written by Rio Ewers with art by Tom Fowler.
Yep.
So, but just a heads up, not the same
creative team.
Yeah. So
just totally different book.
Just so you know. I'm not saying don't pick it up, but don't be surprised then if you're like, wait, this doesn't seem the same.
Exactly.
That's fair because it's not. Harrow County, just for coming up with some spooky stuff, is coming out this week with Harrow County. Tales from Harrow County, Fair Folk #4, written by Cullen Bunn, art by Emily Schnall.
Yep.
I'm like, am I reading that correctly?
You are correctly reading that.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, we're kind of getting to the bottom.
Yeah, keep going. Maybe there's something here. Wow, light week.
Yeah.
Where are the X titles?
There aren't any.
No, there should be.
I didn't see any on the list.
I don't believe.
I don't believe you.
I believe you. I don't believe that.
I know. Trial of Magneto.
I thought
it's the biggest event of the season.
I thought something else was coming out, but I guess
yes, Bomber Guy, you did miss Strange Adventures, but you can scroll back and watch it because this show is going to be available for posterity here on ComicPop Returns.
We got some super chats, so we're not leaving.
And we have super chats, so let's jump into them.
Vic Grayson saying, "I need Freeze in the sequel for the Batman." Yeah, depending on how this universe unfolds, I would like that.
Me too.
It would be. Wouldn't it be nice to get a good
Mr. Freeze
on screen?
What are you talking about? I like that Mr. Freeze. At least he's cartoon accurate. He has Nora. No, he doesn't die either. It's like one of two.
Christopher Colbert says, you keep saying that people will go to a Batman film, but that wasn't always the case circa 2003. And AT&T is still nervous due to bad box offices. They've been burnt on DC properties many times. Right, but listen.
Not Batman.
Batman's their money guy. And no, for sure. No. Was it always that way? No, but it is that way very much now.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many Bat titles out there right now. People buy it, people want to watch it, people want to wear it.
Exactly.
And it's Robert Pattinson. It's a new Batman. It's a new chance for people to get into watching Batman movies in a way. You know what I mean? It's like a first issue.
Right. So we want to thank you all so much for hanging out with us and subscribing and for supporting us here. Big thanks to the Super Chats. Big thanks to Comixology, our friends over there. And we want to mention that, of course, our mother site, youtube.com/ComicPop, is almost at 100,000 subscribers. If you want to help us out, go over there, subscribe. But stay here at ComicPop Returns and subscribe there as well. You'll get all kinds of live shows like this show, Off the Rack, or Elseworlds Exchange, and other shows like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where we take 3 comic books, unite them under some kind of theme, and then break them down and talk about them on a panel of characters like Tiffany and myself. That is actually being edited right now. That's going to be jumping into the Dark Matter universe of characters from the DC. So yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time with a new episode. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Oh, hey, you like video games? Go to twitch.tv/ComicPop and follow Tiffany, who plays video games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I do.
You will be glad you did. It's a fun community. And what are you playing?
Right now we're playing through the Alan Wake remaster because it's October, but we gotta kind of wrap that up because Guardians is coming.
That's right. Guardians is coming, and you'll be playing it. Like, you jump on these trends. So
I don't really usually jump on the trends, but it's superhero based one.
Superhero based.
So I gotta check it out.
Channel's called ComicPop.
Gotta check it out.
You know how it is. All right. So long, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching.
Bye.